Hi folks, welcome back to Street Rust. Our goal today, is to get this intake on this car and get it sealed up so I can drive overnight. We'll get the car done tomorrow or something, but that's the goal. So why not the car today? I'll tell you why, because I'm still waiting on parts. This is the Edelbrock 750, okay? Still waiting on some parts. Ordered some parts. I need the studs for the computer. But anyway, here's the air cleaner stud. The one that I have, I think, is going to be a little short for the cleaner I got, and I went ahead and ordered one a little longer. You've got to have this. This is the 1481 Edelbrock Chrysler throttle lever adapter. As you can see on the side of this Edelbrock, this is not going to hook up correctly to the linkage here. So you have this adapter that you bolt on that makes it good. So anyway, I'll go through that a little bit. And then we have the air cleaner. Why did I order this Mr. Gasket 14-inch? Mr. Gasket 14-inch. There you go. There's the part number. Because if you remember my video from where we did the startup on Clyde's 383, when he bought this sticker, he bought me one and gifted it to me, and I'm very grateful for that. So this is going to go on here. That's why I bought the 14-inch flat black. All right, what am I waiting on? I'm waiting on a new PVC grommet that goes back here in the hole, and here is the OEM breather, and I'm waiting on the breather. Now the breather, very difficult to find a breather that doesn't have the nipple on it for that, because we're bypassing this. We'll leave the PVC hooked to the Edelbrock carburetor, and here's your fuel line. We'll have to do some adaptation for that because the fuel comes in the front. But we'll leave the PCV, is that right? PCV, yeah. We'll leave that in and we'll pipe it to the carb. But as far as this side, which pipes to the air cleaner, we'll delete this. Now to find one of these without that nipple, like I said, and that's black, couldn't find one. You know, they had these fancy dancy ones that had the, you know, the Spider-Man webbing on and all that kind of stuff. Don't want that. So I just bought a chrome one. We'll take the chrome one and I'll rough up that chrome, and I'll use some self-etching primer, and I'll hit it with some of this black engine paint that I have. So now let's get this out of the way. We're going to take this and move it over here. Like I said, I'm waiting on the studs. There are studs in there, but I know one of them is a bolt, so I went ahead and ordered a set. I've already chased these holes, things of that nature. That's all done. But I asked you guys, what do you think I ought to do with this? So we got everything from black to purple to paint the OEM color. You know what? Finding this OEM color is expensive at best, and it's not the Torque and Teal. Torque and Teal is kind of the aftermarket. To get that genuine OEM Chrysler blue from this era, you got to special order the can, yada yada yada. So here's what I decided. Had a gentleman, he said, well, hey, why don't you just hit it with a brass wheel and leave it the way it is and throw it on there? And I think that's a great idea. It's how it comes out of the box when you order. You can see this box over here. When you order it out of the box, that's what she looks like. So why don't we just make it look, actually it's going to be a little shinier than when it came out of the box. You can see on the front part here, I've done a little bit with a brass wire wheel. All I could find were some big ones. I couldn't find any small ones locally, but I think it came out great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up this table in the middle of the garage floor, and we're going to go ahead and hit this with a wire brass wheel and get it cleaned up. Then we'll come back, we'll start tearing this down. So what are the questions that I have to answer here? First of all, Mopar intake, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes on each side. The brackets for the air conditioning, you can see that there's some bracketage down here, if you can see that, and there's a little bracket here, but there's some thicker brackets over here as well, okay? The bolts are longer. So you have a, I believe it's a 1.5 inch, and then you have a 2 inch. Okay, let's just measure that to make sure I'm right. But this one is a 1.5, and this one is a 2 inch. So yes, they're running 2 different sizes of intake bolts because of those really thick brackets that are there for the AC. So the next question is am I going to take the AC off? You know what? I don't think that this current AC system is ever going to run. I would like to omit it, but if I omit it, then I've got to have another shorter belt that would be exclusively just for the alternator, and I have to figure that out. So not sure what I'm going to do as we dig into this to see how difficult it is or is not. Then we'll see. So what I did on the bolts, I bought 2 different grades, 5 grade and 8 grade. Don't remember which one's which, but they're plenty strong enough for an intake. I got a series, and the reason because SAE bolts like a Tractor Supply are cheap. Metric bolts are freaking outrageous. So I took the OEM bolts down, I matched them. I bought 8 each of the 1.5, 2 in each grade. I've got a series of different washers I can use depending on the look that I want and things of that nature. Buying all this was a heck of a lot cheaper than ordering like an ARP set. I get it for buying ARP bolts for heads and stuff like that, but for this intake, I don't think we got to do that. I bought all that for far less. Plus the ARP bolts or any other head bolt set that I saw only had the short ones. They didn't have the long ones from the front. Okay, so all right, so let me get us set up over here, and I'll do a little bit of videoing on hitting this with the brass, not wire, but the brass. It's a wire. It's not steel wire, it's brass wire. We'll hit it with this, shine this up a little bit. What I will do is hit these surfaces on the top and on the bottom where they made up. And you know what I just realized, folks? I got to run to AutoZone and get the doggone. I got to get the doggone. I totally slipped. You know, the valley pan and the gaskets. I got to run down and get those. I decided to buy them locally because I can buy the set just as cheap as ordering the same thing from like Rock Auto or Parts Geek or something like that. Nonetheless, I'm gonna get this set up out here in the middle of the garage and show you what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. I'm not gonna bore you to death with this, but I just want to show you how well this works. This is a brass wheel, smallest one I could find. You can see this area is kind of dingy right here. And this is shiny. This is what this does. You can notice the difference there. This really polishes that up. Significantly different. All right, hopefully you can see the difference between what it's like here and what it's like here. Significantly different. And also I mentioned earlier that I was going to hit these surfaces here and here. not with this. I'll get some like 240 sandpaper. I'll hit that, and then I'll hit this with some 240, and we'll be ready to go. All right, folks, there you go. We're gonna call this done, and I'm gonna get you set up over here. I do still have to go get the valley pan, the intake manifold gasket. So we'll talk about this a little later, but on an OEM engine 383. All right, we're back. That GoPro battery cut out. Anyway, I was talking about the gaskets for the intake. This is a dry intake. You got a valley pan. Back OEM engines, they don't need any other gaskets. But if you go out there and research, especially with aftermarket aluminum intakes, you do have the option of putting the side gaskets on there. They kind of they sandwich that valley pan. Dry gasket, I'm not going to mess with those. I'm just going to put I'll see what I got. We'll see what we got when we get in here. So let's see, the camera cut out. I went ahead and took the coil, got it out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and get this bracket off right here. And that looks like a 5/8. I'll just grab the 5/8 and the 9/16. It is a 9/16. We're going to get this bracket off. Okay. And before I do that, I'm going to put well, actually I'm not on that one. I'm going to put these little bolts back, this bolt back in here, so I know where it is when I'm looking for it, when I'm putting all this back together. Come on now. Come on, this is not rocket science here. I guess maybe it is rocket science. Need to go study up on my laws of thermodynamics to get a screw in, a bolt. Good night. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, now we're going to bust off this bracket right here. We're going to get rid of this. Get rid of that bracket. And that's got a little clip on it. Okay. Once again, I'm going to put this bolt back in there so I know where it's at. There it goes. Okay. All right, very good. I'm going to take all these parts and throw them over here on the ground so I know where everything's at. All right, we can go ahead and disconnect this. We can go ahead and get this out. We'll need that later. We need to go ahead and disconnect. Let's see, the PVC is disconnected, but I can go ahead and pull it off back there. Pull that out as well. Kind of exciting that we're getting to this, folks. Let's see. This, I want to take another picture of that too, this kickdown spring. Make sure I clearly understand where that goes. So I'm piecing all this back together. Pictures are your friend. Oh, pictures are definitely your friend. Take it there. Take it here. There we go. I won't be fighting that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this pin here. Actually, I'm going to take that spring off. And I'm going to take it off because I got a little tray right here too. My son got me that for Christmas. It's a magnetic. The tray is not magnetic, but it sticks to something steel. It's pretty cool. And we're going to pull this pin off. We're going to pull this washer off. Okay, that's off. Now this one, this cotter key here, is a real light one. So let's get the needle nose and pop that out. Come on now. There we go. dropped it. Doggone. It's a cotter pin. I'll find another one. Okay, that's that linkage there. That's not going to fall off. So we're good there. All right, so that's all disconnected except for the fuel. Let me check, see if that cotter pin is anywhere close. If not, we'll just put another one in it. Come on, flashlight. Come on, flashlight. Well, it doesn't want to work. Probably because I got these gloves on. Anyway, we'll find that later. Let's see, fuel line. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to bust the carburetor off here first. There's the carb. Say goodbye. Say goodnight, Gracie. Let me throw a towel down here. That. All right. So where are we at? See what else we need to do. This bracket's got to come off. There's so many stinking brackets in here. I want to take a picture of this real quick. The vacuum line here has to come off, and all of this stuff is in the way. It's got to come off as well. So I'm going to have to take some more pictures here, folks, because number one, that's what I do. Number two, we'll make sure everything gets back together, and I don't have to play the puzzle game. So this is here. And back here. There we go. We got a bolt in here. There we go. Okay. We'll go ahead and get all this disconnected. Let's keep going. All right, 9/16. I've already got a couple bolts out because I had to measure them. I've got this one out and this one out. So we'll go ahead and get this one out and get this bracket out of the way. Where is my doggone extension? Oh, that's the one that fell. There we go. That's okay. And actually, this one now goes in here. All right. Do I have to take the valve covers off, folks? I don't think so, because it doesn't go up. It doesn't go up against it. Shouldn't have to take the valve covers off. We'll see. In the wide world of sports, ½ inch, I need 9/16. All right, here we go. All right, that one's loose. That one is loose. 1, 2. That one's loose. And let's see this one here. There we go. So at least all 4 are loose. Now, on this side, that's 1, that's 2. Here's the 3rd one. Okay, and number 4's got to be hiding back in there. times. This thing was rebuilt once in its life. I got the paperwork. All right, now we're gonna get all these out. Get everything loosened here and out of the way. Oh, got one right here too. I need to go ahead and do this one. That's a bracket. Oh, that's also my ground. I think we had that off on Hot Rod Power Tour. Kind of leave these bolts where they were. I want to keep them in order in case I need to do any investigation here. Okay, there's another bracket. Let's take this one out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take these over to the bench. Let's see, this one was the front driver. Front driver. Second one. Don't know what that is. Sorry, folks, I'll be right back. I'm just making sure I got all these in the right position. Okay, very good. And bracket. Don't need that. That was a socket. All right. All right. Let's go and get these out. Let's get these two out. This is exactly what I want to look for. See how oily that is? We need to put sealer on these new bolts because oil will seep up through these. And that's something I read about. I wanted to check. No oil on, there's a little bit on that one, but there's quite a bit on that one. Get these other two out and be done with this. Okay, that actually can flip up. I think that can flip up out of the way, so I'll get this out of the way. All right, what do I got to do here? First of all, these need to come off. I won't take a picture of that because there is a little vacuum line I didn't notice there. We'll get a little picture of that. Okay. I'm sure these are just going to come right off too. Ooh, it's been a while since that one. Let's give it a little smooge. There we go. That broke loose. Alright. And that one's off. So those are off, those are off. Let's get this linkage off. We'll wind up tying some of this back out the way. Ooh, this whole thing's, oh man, this whole thing's got to come off. So, yay! Let's get this bolt out. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. That intake bolt, there's not a lot of oil on that one, and there's not a lot of oil on this one here. There's a little bit, not too much. Let's get these over on the bench where they came from. Okay, let me show you what we got here. Get y'all in here with me. So I'm going to go ahead. Everything's pretty much clear. I'm going to get, I've got to get this bracket off here. This is going to take some to-doing. I'm going to have to disconnect this line. I may go ahead and disconnect it here and here and just get it off. There's nothing in the system. I've had it disconnected before. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little better shot here. So I'm going to go ahead and off camera here, I'm going to go ahead and get get this bracket off, because even though this is going into the head, this one goes into the intake, and we'll get that all squared away. So let me get that done, and then we'll get back and break that intake free. All right, folks, had to get a little aggressive with the AC system. That's all this bracketry. Because of that bracket, all this had to come off. Now we're going to see if we can pop this off. I haven't touched it because I don't want to ruin the surprise. You're going to see in here for the first time, just like me. Now the question is, how do we get that thing off? We got a steel intake that's been on there for who knows how long. How do we do this without? How do we do this? That's a valve pan. I don't think ooh, it's a little loose already. Well, there you go. I don't want to get stupid here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let me pop it on this side. There it is. Whoop, there it is. All right. That's the easiest intake, OEM intake I've ever taken off. That may be a concern. Maybe that's why it was leaking. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop this off. I'm gonna set it on the ground over there, and then I'll get you in here and we'll take a look. You know this thing's gonna be stinking heavy. Heavy, heavy. Oh, good Lord. All right. Let's see how we look here. Get y'all in here. We'll get this pan out as well, but you know, well, for sure there's no additional gaskets in here. So that's for sure. And if we look over here, there's the intake, 383. And let's see what we got here. And let me turn this up. Well, if I turn it upside down, you know what? Are those gaskets? No. Nope, that's not. That's just carbon and everything built up there. Let's look at the other side. It almost looks like there's a gasket. Oh, they used some kind of spray on there. That's what we did. We're going to have to backtrack and see what we want to do here. But anyway, they definitely used a sealer around here. That sucker's heavy. Okay, and let's see if we can see any residue here. There's a little bit right here. But, all right, so I'm going to get in here. Let's see if I can reposition a little bit. I want to get in here and we'll get these valley pans, get this valley pan out and see what we got. Be right back. All right, here we go. Let's get these out real quick. There ain't nothing real quick when you're doing this. I think these are only torqued like 20 foot-pounds. I'll have to double check that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's those. Get these 3 back here. I did run a vacuum through here too. Just there's some bugs and stuff under there. All right, let's see if that'll do it. I'm gonna try to keep these in order too, just because I'm like that. One left. Let's go. All right. These should come off. Curious if they put any silicone here in the corners. White suckers on there tight. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna lift this out so I don't get any dirt in there. Crap, there goes my light. Okay. Oh, beauty, eh? Here, y'all look at the bottom of that valley pan. Looks pretty good, huh? Doesn't look like we got any major issues there at all. So. All right, let's get in here. Let's just look at the overall cleanliness here of our engine. We're going to do a little vacuuming around here, but looks pretty dang clean in there. Pretty dang clean. And that's what we want to see. We don't want to see a bunch of sludge or anything. We got oil pooling in there. Looks good. All right, I got to figure out the next step here, so I'll be back. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap up for tonight. I know my goal was to get that intake on, but I didn't order the valley pan and the gaskets. So anyway, here's what's going on. Just want to show you one quick thing here. Right here is for, and I gotta vacuum that out. Looks like I got some mud dauber nest in there. Anyway, this is for your crossover heat riser. What that does is recycles exhaust gas and helps warm the car up. I'm buying the valley pan that blocks that off, and that should gain me a handful of horsepower. I am going to go ahead and get the valley pan and the gasket since I had to order it. Won't be here till tomorrow. So have a good night, and it'll be a couple seconds to you, but a long time for me. So we'll see you tomorrow. And we are back. It has only been a couple seconds for you, but it's been a couple days for me. Let me show you why. Show you where we left off. Where we left off, we had everything torn off. I got those cleaned up. I got all the sealing off it and everything like that. We got the intake ready. We did the brass brush on this. Looks good. We're going to leave it. Now, I had to get the valley pan locally. Like I said, it was cost effective actually to get this valley pan gasket with the gaskets that sandwich on here. Now, one big difference here between the old pan and the new pan. This hole right here is for your heat risers in here. Okay, that's your crossover heat riser, helps warm it up in the morning. I am sacrificing that right here to get that additional 1.7 horsepower, and because that's the only gasket they had. So additionally, to prevent this middle part from rusting like it has over here, and this is just aesthetics, I went ahead and hit this with all I had was like a battleship gray. I'm an Army guy, but hey, battleship gray, go Navy, right? Anyway, did that. I think it'll look fine set up against this this aluminum intake. As far as the gaskets, the one I'm using is the Felpro 1214. It comes with 4 of these gaskets as well, like I said, so you can sandwich that. I went ahead and the hold downs for the valley pan, I cleaned those up with a wire wheel and hit them with paint as well. Our breather cap came in, it fits fine. Can't find a black one, so we're going to hit this with some you know, low grit, high grit, whatever, like a 60 or 80 and rough it up. We'll hit it with some self-etching primer, and then we'll paint that black. All these other parts, that goes to this. This is the carburetor adapter. That'll be in the next video. I did show you, oh, there's my new parts can. Use those for parts. Anyway, the air breather, I showed you earlier in the video that this one was too short, so I ordered a longer one. But lo and behold, when I opened up this, it had one in there, and it's black, so I like that even better. Plus, it's a solid piece of all thread. I can cut off whatever I need to make that look nice. So what else is going on? Well, let me give you a quick update on the truck and our weather. I'll show you this is Northwest Arkansas. Wow, the sun came out finally. Looky there. This ain't good for us. Hey guys. Hey, knock it off. I'm trying to do a video. Okay, anyway, the truck is still sitting out here. We got a little baby snowgeddon. It's 19 degrees. It's way too cold for Arkansas. Anyway, haven't touched that truck. I haven't touched the truck. We're gonna do that together after we finish. Sorry, the dogs barking are kind of getting my brain off, but that's what they do. That's what dogs do. Dogs bark, so get over it. We'll go ahead and we're gonna get the Chrysler done first, get all this done so we can pull it out of the garage. Then we'll start in on the first start and everything on this F-250. Okay, folks, so I'm gonna get everything together here and we'll get this slapped on, get it sealed up so everything can dry and cure and I can prepare for the next video. See you in just a second. Okay, folks, just a quick little thing here before we get this intake on. This is a Harbor Freight basic tap and die set, and we're using a 3/8 by 16 tap here. I want to show you what I'm doing. I want to show you why it's important. I've tapped out 4 of the 6 holes, and I haven't tapped this hole yet. And basically, you know, it's the same size as the bolt that's going to go in here. And tell you what, let me get this camera set up, and then I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, all right. So here's what I'm doing. I'm taking this tap, same size as the bolt. You get it started in here, and actually on this one, I'm just using a little 1/4-inch wrench. It's a little easier. I got the towel down here for 2 reasons. Number 1, so no foreign material gets down there. But number 2, if I drop this, it doesn't slide down in with the cam. That would be a bad day. This one is actually, if it gets a little too tough, what you do is go back and forth. And you're going to see why it's doing that when I pull this out. There's going to be a lot of crud on there. Now these go all the way through, which is why when we put this intake on, you see the bolts that go in here, you're going to see that we use some thread sealer on there. So that oil doesn't migrate back up these head bolts. Okay, a little tougher there, so I'm gonna go back and forth a little bit. Now, if you're tapping a you know, a non-tap service, you obviously want to use some lubricant in here, but that's not what we're doing. Okay, so I'll take it down. It's about it now. It's all the way through. Okay, so now I'm going to back it out. I'll show you what kind of crud is down in that hole. And there could be sealant from a previous, you know, the previous rebuild, or this thing has been off because this engine's been rebuilt. But let me get you a good shot there. You can see all this crud that has come out of there, all that nastiness. We just cleaned that out. Now let me show you the bolt. When I take one of the head bolts here, this thing is just gonna hand thread down in there nice and smooth, and that's what we like to see. Okay, so I'm gonna finish tapping out this one, and then I'm gonna tap out for these hold downs here, the valley pan. I'll tap those out, then we'll get back and get this thing on. All right, folks, don't panic. I haven't put this on without you. I'm just dry fitting everything. Ran into an issue. You know, when you're customizing stuff, you run into issues. So here's the problem. AC compressor, this AC bracket, this one here and this one over here. Now this is just a stud. I put a couple studs in there to help me just guide it in place with everything. So those have to use the 2.5 inch. These use the 2 inch, and then 2.5 inch here. So let me grab a 2.5 inch. You can see the garage is starting to disintegrate right before your eyes. So the original bolt, 2.5, okay. Here is the problem. So, as you can see, there's absolutely no way that bolt is going to go down. There's just no way it's going to go in, because this is in this position. So if you look over here at the OEM 2-barrel intake, you can see that the angle is different. So there's no problem with getting that down in there. So I already took out a bunch of AC stuff out here in the back of the firewall. Here's the solution. The solution is, this doesn't go back on. I'm going to delete the rest of the AC stuff in here. If I put AC back in this car, I'll use an aftermarket kit anyway, because it'll be, in the long run, it'll be less expensive. Then I'm going to have to figure out my bracketology and my beltology of how, because this is gone. That belt runs double belt because it's AC. Double on the crank. It's supposed to have a double on the AC, but if you remember on Power Tour, that's the only one we could find, so we had to cut one of the belts. AC right now is just acting as a pulley anyway, so it's coming out. So I'm going to get all that pulled out. You know, the bottom line is we'll get this thing started, not in this video. In the next video, when we put the carb on, we're just not going to have an alternator. Yeah, just not an alternator for a short period of time until we figure out the bracketology. So let me get it. Oh, I pulled the distributor out too, because the lip of this, the lip down here, was catching on the distributor when I was trying to set it. So I just went ahead and pulled it out. We've had it out before, no big deal. That's actually something we're going to upgrade in the very near future anyway. We're going to get some electronic ignition on here. But nonetheless, we'll be back. Let me get all this pulled out again, and we'll get this thing installed. All right, the time has come. We have got, I've got a bead across the front and the back, about 1/4 inch. We've got the inside gaskets coated and in. We are going to put the pan on, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. These studs worked really well with helping me line up the pan. So we're going to go ahead and use these. Not going to use them for the intake. They didn't work very well. And I have all the intake bolts coated. We'll be using all the 1.5 inch ones since we're not putting the AC bracket back on the front. So pan. Here's the pan. We're going to line up on these two posts here. We're going to pop it down in place. Okay, that's what we want to hear. We got some gushing going on. That's good. Okay, now we'll start with the brackets. We got the front bracket. There is a little bevel. There's a little bevel on those. That obviously goes down. Let's get the middle one in. These are torquing at 25 foot-pounds. I got the torque wrench set up to that. I'm going to go ahead and get the middle back. Okay, now this front one is where this bracket goes here. For the spark plug wires. Okay, I'm just kind of hand tightening all those. You know what? I put that bolt in the back and I don't have the hold down back there, so we're going to take that one back out. I was pretty generous in the corners, the 4 corners here too, because I want to make sure we don't have any leaks. Need to have the bracket, that helps. Okay, I'll get these other 2 in. Got my finger in the doggone gasket seal. I don't want that. And you know what? I need to get a socket real quick, folks, for this. These are 7/16 bolts. Tell you what, I got some goop in these. I'm gonna get an ungooper here real quick. This looks like a good ungooper. And just kind of get a little bit of that out of the way. That's not really, yeah, I guess it is. It is, oh, that's the gasket back there. Yeah, we need that gasket lined up for sure. Okay, gasket's lined up. Gasket's lined up. That's what helps with these studs on this side. That gasket stays lined up. Okay. All right, I've got this set up to 25 foot-pounds. Let's go ahead and we'll start in the middle. Come on now. Why isn't it clicking? That's 25 pounds. I'm gonna break that bad boy off. I'm set. 25 foot-pounds. Let's go to this side a little bit. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna have to check those. This is definitely set. This is set at 25 foot-pounds. I don't know why that's not clicking. Let's see. Unless it's just so light. Tell you what, I mean, you know what 25 foot-pounds is. Come on. You know what? I'm going to back this down to 10. And just see. Let's mark it down 25, 20. Tell you what, let's bump it down to 15. See if I feel my click at 15. Yeah, see? There it went. 15 was good. So let's bump it up to 20. 20 is good. 20 is good. Let me try that again on this one. There we go, that's good. So I gotta get it to click over here. I don't want to break that bad boy off. Oh, I just broke it. Oh my gosh. Folks, that is not what you want to do. You know what? Stand by. Got to come up with a plan real quick. Y'all seeing this? All right. My towel's burning. Gotta get that out of here. The towel's on fire. Okay, that's out. Gloves. Gloves. All right, there. Let me get over here. Hopefully this is recording good and y'all can see what I did. I just welded a little nut on there real quick, got it cleared off. So now I got to backtrack. Let me get that cleaned up and get back to where we were. Be right back. All righty, folks. We're back. Let's see. All right, deep breath. Got the bolt out. You saw that. I found another bolt. It's ugly. It's not painted. I put it in the back. So we're going to go ahead and get the intake and continue now. So, hey, this is reality. Big time rookie mistake. But don't do it. Okay? So, we're going to go ahead and set this in here. All right. You noticed also I went ahead and brought this vacuum fitting over here to this one, cleaned it up, used some Teflon tape, things of that nature. Now, we're using all 1.5 inch bolts because we don't need the 2-inch ones for up here in the front because we don't have the mount for the AC. This one's a bear because this post is right here. I learned that I need to do this one first because it's hard to line up. When I was dry fitting, there we go, we're getting started there. It's just almost impossible. I just put my hand in that gate. I think that started. Look at the 9/16 wrench on this. Guys, I've been fighting this since I started it. It's just incredible. Okay, that's the hardest one. It started. I want to get it down more so I can. That's the tough one right there. That's why we did a dry fit, so we didn't have to throw a fit, right? That was going in there very nicely. It's going to be tough getting a torque wrench in there. We're going to go 10, 15, 25 on the torque. Okay, I think that's good enough there. Haven't tightened these down, folks. We're not even close to torquing. And you know what? I've got to put on that one right there. Now that I think about it, where the heck is it? All right, this needs to go back on here. That's for my throttle spring. I think. Good there. Guys, I'm not winning right now. Good night. I hope y'all are seeing all this. Now I gotta doggone figure out where that's. No, it's right there. It's right there. I can feel it. There. Are you believing this? There it is. Voila, magnet, best $1.99 you'll ever spend right there. All right, now where did I just set that wrench? Y'all watching the video, tell me where it's at. Good night. It's cold outside, it's been snowing. Doggone. I've been fighting this thing for hours now, but we're gonna get it because we don't give up. Never give up. That's the motto, right? Okay, that's started for sure. Okay. Also, let me show you something here real quick. We've got this white thread sealant Permatex on these Mopars because you've got these bolts go all the way through down there to the oil valley. You've got to put some Teflon, or the oil will eventually creep up there. If you remember when we took the bolts off, I think it was one of these side back ones here. It was pretty oily. It had creeped up there. So we don't want that. Thusly and therefore, we're putting thread sealer on. Okay, that one started. That one started. Let's go ahead and get these in front here. Let's make sure that one started good. Yeah, that's good. Next victim. That one went in nice. This one, oh yeah, it's in there. It was just bound up a little bit. All right, now the back two. Let's see if that's taken. Yep. All right, that one's good. Last one, here we go. Went right in. All right, so when we torque these, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You wanna start in the middle, zigzag, come to the front, go to the back. All I'm gonna do right now is just hand tighten these down. That's all I'm doing. Then we're gonna get that cheap Harbor Freight. We're gonna get that cheap Harbor Freight torque wrench. I've got a bigger one that's nicer. It's just a little too big for this. It's good for heads and things of that nature. Boy, it's tight in there. I wonder if I can get my... Not too tight. It's gonna be hard to get, it's gonna be hard to torque these. That's for sure. Just because of all the angles. Boy, that's gonna be tough. Tough. Hey boy, come on in.
You didn't close the one just trunk, by the way.
Hey, I'm videoing.
Oh, well,
So say hi, Gabriel.
Hi.
Here. You wanna get on camera?
Huh?
Here. Hey folks. Gonna pause for just a second. All right, I'm gonna start torquing these down. We gotta start at 10, a very gentle 10. There's 10. 10. This isn't gonna fit in there. Doggone. I guess I could try. I got a couple things I can try here. I can try the universal joint. This is just gonna be lovely. It's gonna take a different angle on every one of these to get what we need. There's got to be an easier way, folks. Okay, 10. Let's see, this one here will have to be the same way. There we go, 10. All right, we'll go to the front. Now this one, I think I might have to use a crow's foot. Because can't get anything else in there except this. So we're gonna use this crow's foot. Get her tightened down there. Not yet. This is turning into quite a pain in the behind. Let's see. Just gotta get that one tight enough so I can torque it. There we go. Get the good torque on it. Okay, there's 10 there. We can get that one with the regular one. If I can keep track of all the different tools I have to use here, incredible. Okay, that's 10. Now he's back to okay, there's 10. Last one here. Yep, there's 10. Boy, you can barely tell 10. All right, folks. Let's wrap this up. I'll come back and torque the rest of these on a Weiand for Mopar. That's the pattern you use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You go 10, then you go 15, then you go 20. So we're in. So as soon as I get these torqued down, then we're gonna start. Well, here we go. Let me show you the garage. What a nightmare. I got to get all this cleaned up. Oh no, look what I forgot. I got to take this back off and put these gaskets in there. Oh, tell you what, folks, I'm done. I'm done with the video. I'm at everything I just did with that dry fit's got to come back off so I can put those gaskets. It's not dry yet. I'll put those gaskets in. I'll target 10, 15, 20. and then we'll start on the car. We gotta let this all dry overnight. So, hey, it's been a struggle. Not an epic struggle, but a struggle. This is real life, and these are the things you deal with, especially when you start modifying stuff. So, hey, thank you all for watching. Would ask that if you'd click down there and subscribe, like, share, if you feel like that's something you'd like to do. It's free to you, and it abundantly blesses me. So y'all have a great time till the next video. Thank you for watching, and be blessed.